There's nothing more romantic than a relaxing drive into California's sunny Sonoma Valley. Along with its more famous neighbor, Napa, Sonoma's known for producing some of the world's finest gourmet wines and cheeses. The first stop on our wine country getaway was the historic Fairmont Sonoma Mission Inn and Spa. To learn more about this unique green resort, we sat down with the Fairmont's Michelle Heston.
This hotel is actually 75 years old, and many incarnations, so to speak, of that, but we've recently completed a $65 million restoration. So while we kept the historic charm of the property, all the new luxuries and niceties have been included, whether it's high-speed internet, or a brand new kitchen, or updated pools. So if you choose just to hang out by the pool all day, we want to make that a possibility. Or if you want to be on the go, wine tasting, playing golf, spa, our morning complimentary hikes and bike rides, fitness classes throughout the day, or really just exploring the beauty of Sonoma Valley. We're really providing you a flash of the past with all the conveniences of modern luxury travel.
The entire property oozed with historic charm. From the beautiful sustainable landscaping to the ivy-covered buildings and even our cozy eco-friendly hotel suite, there were plenty of opportunities for relaxation and romance. And how on earth did they know that I love chocolate-covered strawberries?
The next morning, the Fairmont set up a vineyard bike tour led by Doug McKesson, the town's former mayor and owner of Good Time Touring Company. We got a great workout while touring some of the most beautiful landscapes in Sonoma County. We made a pit stop at historic Bella Cheese Factory, which has won numerous awards for its local artisanal cheeses. Doug seemed to know a little bit about everything. He said that making cheese is a lot like making fine wine. It takes time. They coat each cheese round with pepper, cocoa, and vegetable oil and cure them in these refrigerated vats to age for months or even years at a time. Bella's also won awards for its sustainability initiatives. If you look closely on the roof, you'll notice solar panels, which use the sun's rays to generate power for the entire factory.
Next, we headed back to the Fairmont just in time for their complimentary wine hour. And to learn more about wine tasting and the difference between Sonoma and Napa Valley wines, Michael caught up with executive chef Bruno Tisson in the hotel's private wine cellar.
Napa basically focuses on Cabernet Sauvignon, and Sonoma focuses a little bit more, much more on Pinot Noir. We're very lucky. I mean, we have wineries. We have 50 wineries within 50 miles.
What should we look for when we're tasting?
You don't need to be an expert. You know, you always have to look at the color of the wine. You have to check the aroma. You really move the wine. You warm it up a little bit. You oxygenate the wine nicely. You can see also a little bit like the wine is crying, the alcohol content.
What is this? What is the? These are legs.
These are legs. Legs, or we call that in French, we call that tiers.
Tiers.
And that gives you an idea of the alcohol content in the wine. The thicker, the more alcohol. So you can see over here the note that thick. Okay. And then the bouquet. Make sure it has a nice, pleasant aroma. And then after glass is to test the wine and to incorporate a little bit of air. You know, at the same time you test it. Remember, Picasso used to say you don't need to be a painter to appreciate art.
Right.
So you like or you don't.
Got it.
You like it.
So we don't have to be a sommelier to appreciate wine.
No, test that.
Okay, I will.
It's wonderful. Cheers.
Cheers.
Authentically local. Delicious.
Authentically good.
Excellent. It's perfect.
That's perfect.
That's my choice. I can drink that every day.
Now that we were armed with a proper wine education, we were ready to venture up the road for the highlight of our trip, a biodynamic wine tasting excursion at the Benziger Family Winery. Michael decided he would drive the cart, but had a little trouble getting us moving in the right direction. There we go. Once we got moving, we passed acres and acres of beautiful vineyards, and the views were breathtaking. One of the best things about Benziger is that they're as committed to the environment as they are to making great tasting wine. To learn more about the different elements of the winery's biodynamic farming practices, we chatted with Benziger's Jessica LaBounty.
Biodynamics is the highest form of organic farming. It tries to balance out the ecosystem. We have animals on our property. It's kind of more of a farm to help balance out the monoculture of the vineyard. So we have bird boxes that attract hawks and owls that take care of rodents or rabbits that would be in the vineyard. We have all of our own composting. So it's really kind of a closed nutrient system. What comes from the vineyard goes back into the vineyard. We're in our insectary garden. The insectary is basically a garden that we planted in the middle of the vineyard that provides a natural habitat for beneficial bugs and birds. We've chosen diverse plants here that attract a certain type of bug that's the natural predator for a bug that might be interested in preying on the vines. So they live here and then they go out into the vineyard and take care of our pests. It's our answer to insecticide.
So you don't use any insecticides or
no
herbicides?
Chemicals on the property at all. We're a biodynamic farm. This is one of the biodynamic preparations. Twice a year on the spring and fall equinox, we bury them in the vineyard. One time it's filled with silica and the other with fresh cow manure. And it kind of ferments in the vineyard and then it is sprayed as a tea. So diluted with water and sprayed over the vineyard. The silica helps increase photosynthesis and the manure acts as a composting agent.
Cool. So if I listen real closely, I'll be able to hear last year's harvest?
Exactly. Absolutely.
It's a good one.
These are our water recycling ponds. The top pond receives all of our winemaking wastewater and it's pumped down into this top pond and then gravity fed through this embankment into our lower pond. All of these water plants, their root system acts as a filtration device and it captures any bacteria or gunk that's in the winemaking wastewater, and then it is clean enough to use as irrigation. So the bottom pond water is used to irrigate the vines. And we figure we save somewhere around 1 million gallons a year.
After the tour, we couldn't wait to taste the grapes and, of course, the final product. So we headed back to the wine shop for some sampling and to practice everything Chef Bruno taught us about the art of enjoying fine wine.
You always have to look at the color, check the aroma, move the wine, warm it up a little bit, oxygenate the wine, and then after glasses to test.
Magnifique.
Surprisingly, biodynamic wine actually tastes great, and it's good for the planet. Now that's something worth toasting. See you next time.
This episode of Conscious Living is carbon-free in partnership with carbonfund.org.